In this video, we are going to talk about how to graph piecewise functions as well as piecewise in context. So, for my first equation, x squared is less than when x is less than 0. So I'm going to graph the function x squared when x is less than 0. So x squared is a quadratic function. So if I think about x squared, 1 squared is 1. Same with -1. Positive or -2 both equal 4. Positive or -3 both equal 9. But I'm only going to graph this when x is less than 0, which is going to be to the left of the y-axis. So 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 9. But I do want to change my point at 0, 0 to be an open circle because since x is less than 0, it does not equal 0. It has to be an open circle. So this is how I graph the first function, because I'm only going to graph half the parabola on the side where x is less than 0. The middle function is 2, which is a horizontal line at y equals 2, and it's true between 0 and 2. And it's equal at 0 and not equal at 2. So that's a line at y equals 2. The last line is 2x plus 1, and that's only true when x is greater than or equal to 2. So if I were to graph this, normally I would start at 1. I'll put a little dot there. And my slope would be up 2 over 1, so up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. But I only want to keep it when x is greater than or equal to 2, which would be starting here. So I don't want to keep any of these points here or here. I want to just connect the points starting at 2. So then it asks some questions about the graph. So it says, what's the domain? Well, domain is from left to right, so I have an arrow on the left, so negative infinity. And then it stops at 0, but the red function starts at 0. Then it stops at 2, but the blue function picks up at 2. So my domain is just going to be negative infinity to infinity. For the range, my lowest point is at 0, but it's not included, so I'm going to have 0 with a round parenthesis. And then my arrows are pointing up, and there's no gaps because of this purple function. So my range is going to be 0 to infinity. Now it's saying what is the function when x equals 6? So when x equals -6, so -6 would fall into this purple function because -6 is less than 0. So I'm going to do -6 squared, which means my answer would be 36. For x is 2, that would fall into this last function when x is greater than or equal to 2. So I do 2 times 2 plus 1. So my answer would be 5. And then when x is 1, that would fall into this middle function because 1 is between 0 and 2, so my answer would just be 2. All right, let's take a look at this second function. So, well, this is second piecewise, I guess I should say. So this first one is between -5 and 1, and it's when y equals 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is up here. And it's between -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to start here, but it's going to be an open circle. And it's going to go till -1, and it's going to be a filled-in circle. To graph my second equation, this is going to be a parabola that's shifted down 1 between -1 and 2. Or if I want to make a little table of values, when x is -1, that means the output is 0. When x is 0, that means the output is -1. I'll write these a little smaller. When my input is 1, my output is 0. And when my input is 2, my output is 3. So I'm going to plot those points. So -1, 0. Now that's going to be an open circle because of this symbol is just less than. 1, -0, -1, 1, 0, 2, 3. And I'll connect my part of my parabola like that. Then to graph the last equation, that's a line that starts at 7. It has a slope of -2/1, so I go down 2, right 1, 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 down 2, right 1. And this is true between 2 and 5. So it's going to start at 2 where my red one stopped and keep going until I hit 5. Which would be right there. And I'm going to erase my other points. And this is what my piecewise function will look like for this one. So now it's asking what's the domain. Well, my most left point is over here at -5, but it's not included. So -5, and then it does connect at -1 here, and then it does very much connect at 2. I realized I forgot to erase these little spare points. Make sure we erase those. And then the most right point is here at 5. So my domain is going to be -5 to 5, where -5 is not included, but 5 is also not included. Because this should have been an open circle. My range is my lowest to my highest. So my lowest point is here at -3. My highest point is here at 7. -3 is not included. But we do have a gap. So it's right here at 3, and then I have a gap from 3 to 7. So it's going to be -3 to 3 included, union, and then just 7. So I'm going to write 7 included. Now they want to know what's f of -4. Well, -4, when x is -4, that would fall into this first equation, so the answer is just 7. When x is 0, it would fall into this middle equation. So I would do 0 squared minus 1, which would be -1. And when x is 2, that will actually also fall into the middle equation. So I do 2 squared minus 1, which would be 3. Let's do a couple more. So if I talked about f of -1, you got to be careful because f of -1 has an open circle and a closed circle. We'd want to use the closed circle, so f of -1 would be 7. If I asked you f of 5, since f of 5 is this open circle, f of 5 would be undefined. So just remember those. All right, so now given this context, we're going to write our own piecewise function and then draw a graph of the piecewise function and then state the domain and range. So it says you're working a summer job that pays time and a half for overtime. You get paid time and a half after you work 40 hours per week. Your normal hourly wage is $6.50. Write a piecewise function in terms of the P pay for the X number of hours you work. So this should actually say P of X. So for the most of the time, I get paid $6.50 times the number of hours I work. This is true whether I work 0 hours or whether I work up to 40 hours. So anything between 0 and 40. So the first part of my piecewise is going to be 650x, and that's true when my x is between 0 and 40. Now the second part of my function is going to be the overtime. So that's assuming I've already worked 40 hours times my 650, plus now I make time and a half. So what does that mean? That means I take the time that I work, I cut it in half, and I add those together. So time and a half is your amount plus 50% more. So that means for every hour over 40, I actually make $9.75 for every hour over 40. So this is true when x is bigger than 40, but it has to be less than or equal to, well, if there are 7 days in a week and 24 hours in a day, that means the most I could ever work would be 168 hours in a week. Couldn't work more than that, so there is a maximum restriction because of the number of hours I could work in a week. So let's draw a graph. So if I'm thinking about this graph, my x-axis we said is hours. in terms of X, my weekly pay in terms of P. All right, so let's do some basic math. So I know that if I work 0 hours, I'm gonna make 0 money. If I work 40 hours making $650, that means I make $260. So let's say 20 hours, 40 hours, and I'm gonna make $260. So 200, 300, 400. So at 40 hours, I make $260. So that'll be roughly about right there. So this part is going to represent this part of my equation. Now to represent the second part of my equation, I'm going to plug in 168 hours into that equation. So I have 650 times 40 plus 975 times 168 minus 40. So that means that I worked 168 hours in a week, I would get my 48 hours of extra overtime. I would make $1,508. So I'm going to keep labeling my graph: 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180. So 168, and then 500, oh, yep, so 100, 500, 600, 700, maybe I should have gone by a bigger, that's okay, 900, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300, oh, I'm running out of room, 1,400, 1,500, 1,600, okay, so at 168, try to draw that straight up as possible, I would make 1508, so let's say it's about there. So that blue line represents that second function. So if we're talking about the domain, it is continuous because you will continuously make money. There's no break. So the least amount of money I could make would be $0. Oh, sorry, domain is the number of hours working. So 0 number of hours to 168 hours. Now my range is the amount of money I would make. If I work 0 hours, I would make 0 money. If I worked 168 hours, I would make $1,508. So that would be my domain and range. All right, let's look at this last example. It says from 1970 to 1990, the total money R in billions of dollars spent on research and development in the United States is modeled by the piecewise below. How much money was spent on research and development in 1970, 1980, 1989, 1999? So T equals 0 represents 1970. So that means 1980 would have to be T equals 10, 1989 would be T equals 19, and 1999 would be T equals 29. So in 1970, I plug in T equals 0, which means I would use this first equation. And I'd plug in 0 for the T's. And I would get $26.5 billion. For 1980, I'm going to plug in 10 into that same equation. And I'm going to get $60 billion. For 1989, that is 19 years, so I'm going to plug that into my second equation. So for 1989, I'm going to plug in 19 into my second equation. I'm going to get $129.84 billion. And for 1999, well, 1999 we said was going to be T equals 29. Well, the second equation only goes up to 20. So for 1999, we cannot predict this because it's not part of our piecewise.